And I played it. To beat it, you have to play it 3 times, I believe. Like the platinum
Okay.
it.
Oh God, why?
Yeah,
Did you actually
and yeah. Platinum that one. Yeah, and it has to be in the same save as well. You can't make a new character and beat it. No, it has to be all in the same save.
Okay, so like New Game Plus Plus.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't know that. So I actually played that game like I think 5 times in total.
Oh God. Oh, no.
Yeah. So
God. Yeah, I initially got stuck on the bridge while World 1 2, and that took me ages to fucking clear.
oh, the dragon, yeah.
Yeah. Well, because also like then I got stuck on Tower Knight as well, and every time you die to Tower Knight, you have to run the whole bridge again. So I just
Yep.
was stuck on there for ages. I never have any healing. That's the other thing. I've got like 1 leaf, and that's it right
Oh,
now.
really?
Yeah, it's
Wow.
1 full leaf. I had 4 half leaves, but I used them all in my first 2 attempts on Armored Spider, so now I'm just down to the 1. I have no souls. I just lost all of them to Armored Spider again, so I can't buy any more. So I just have to kind of perfect it and hope for the best going forward. I don't know. I think I'll be okay. Like I've played enough of these games that I should be fine. It's just like some of the I miss bonfires, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
You should play Dark Souls 1 through 3 though. Well, you can maybe skip 2, but
I mean, yeah, I gotta buy them.
yeah.
Really
3
want
is
them, though.
Yeah, I think 1 is the best from a world design standpoint. I love the level design of 1, except for Tomb of the Giants. Fuck Tomb of the Giants. Everybody who's played Dark Souls knows exactly what I'm talking about. The rest of there's a lot of the last half of Dark Souls is kind of rough. But the first half is like one of my favorite games ever. Dark Souls 3 is the best in terms of bosses, I think, of the series. And I haven't played most of Bloodborne, so I don't know, maybe Bloodborne wins out there. I think DS3 has the best combat, and it's like Elden Ring combat, but the bosses are better and more unique.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Earth's Mightiest Comics, where every week we talk about the new comics that came out that week, and we give our thoughts on them. Apologies for missing last week. Sebastian was moving into a new place and had no Wi-Fi, and since we don't even live in the same country, without Wi-Fi, we cannot record. So, we are back this week, though. We'll be talking about some decently big stuff. We got a new issue of Avengers, new issue of Green Lantern. We have the start of the Wesley Dodds Sandman series, and then also the Superior Spider-Man Returns, plus some other stuff. I did actually briefly, though, and I mean very briefly, want to just give my quick thoughts on. I'm just going to run through everything from last week really quickly here, just because I think last week was a better week in comics than this week was, but we missed last week, so I'm just going to really, really quickly run through all these. Batman 138, really good. I think it was fantastic. I love the conflict between Dick and Bruce coming to a head. I think that was really great. Birds of Prey #2, I was quite disappointed by. I think the first issue was great, as you know, if you listen to that episode where we talked about the first one. But I think this one was very strange in the way it was structured and how they all went off to do separate pre-heist setup things that all took them to the same location. I was like, why even bother having them go to different places in the first place? Blue Beetle 2, I wasn't thrilled on the first issue, but I really liked the second issue. I think it was tonally much more my thing, and I think the action sequence was really good. Fantastic Four 12 was my pick of the week. This is the only one I gave a 10 out of 10 because it's just they're fighting dinosaurs with the Avenger powers. It was just so much fun. Fantastic. Dodds #1 was I think quite good. I think the first half was essentially perfect. I think it was really impressive how Hickman managed to introduce all these concepts and not make it feel overwhelming. Second half I didn't like quite as much. I think the fetch quest that everybody was going on in the background while the big fight was happening was not super interesting, but I still think it was a very solid start. Interested to see where that goes. Poison Ivy 15, I think, was pretty decent, not amazing. I don't remember much of that one. That's I'm going to leave it at there. Sacrificers #3, I think, was actually quite good. This is the first issue of the series that I actually liked. I don't think it's perfect, but I will be picking up the next issue because I do think this issue finally got me more invested in what's going on. Shazam #4, good fun. That's all I have to say on that. That series is just a very fun series. And then Transformers, again, I think pretty good, but I did not know who half the characters were, and I think a lot of them looked the same to me, my untrained eye, so I was a little bit confused, but I think it was a pretty solid issue. That's my thoughts on all of last week. I don't know if you want to chip in anything there, Sebastian, if you just want to jump into this week, but
No, we're good.
All right. Okay, so yeah, that's the rundown on last week. This week, yeah, we're gonna get into things. As always, there will be spoilers for everything, and there will be time codes in the description if you do want to jump around to any issue in particular. Shall we start with Superior Spider-Man?
Yeah, that sounds good.
This is probably the biggest release of the week. Superior Spider-Man Returns #1. I never read the original Superior Spider-Man. I believe that was also by Dan Slott. This is also Dan Slott and a whole host of artists. So yeah, I never read that initial run. I know everybody loves it.
Yes.
I am mixed on Dan Slott generally, though. I think he's fine sometimes, but I think he generally runs to just ends up being way overly verbose. And so yeah, this is the relaunch of Superior Spider-Man, which is going to be coming back in an ongoing starting next month. What'd you think on this one?
Right. So I started the original Superior Spider-Man. Just haven't finished it completely, but it's about the same as I remember. It's Doc Ock in Spider-Man's body. This one, it's not exactly. It's because it's Doc Ock, but it's like a memory of when he was Superior Spider-Man. And yeah, it's just a super arrogant Spider-Man that just thinks he basically knows he knows the answer to everything, right? He's just better than everybody. And it always just comes back to bite him in the ass. As in this one, I don't know if we've met the villain in this one before.
Yeah, I don't know either. I didn't look like it. This seemed to be introducing her.
Right, that's what I thought too. But yeah, Supernova, that was completely the Superior Otto's fault in the flashback. All because he just thought, or not that he thought, but he
just stole credit.
Yeah, he just completely stole it for himself.
I didn't like this.
You didn't like it?
I thought this was not very good. I liked one sequence in it. I liked the scene where Otto is taking down, what's his fucking name? Slide?
Yes. Yeah.
The dude with the frictionless suit. I thought that was a really fun sequence, and it really shows the stuff that Otto brings to the table that Peter doesn't necessarily. Mm-hmm. That being said, that's the only scene in this I liked. I didn't think it was terrible, but again, as I was saying earlier, Dan Slott just fucking does not know when to shut up when writing characters. There's so much text in this, and I don't think the plot is interesting enough for me to be invested in it. It felt kind of like generic supervillain origin story in a way. And yeah, I mean, I guess the tease at the end where Supernova breaks out and doesn't do anything to Otto because she does not realize that he was Spider-Man when that whole thing went down, is interesting. And so now she's going to take down actual Spider-Man. But it's why have this be a Superior Spider-Man story then? Otto's not even in the suit.
Yeah.
I mean, he is in this as it's a flashback. And I don't know. I'm sure they'll find some way to put him in there. I doubt this would just be another Peter book.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I think the premise of this is not all that interesting. I was kind of just bored reading it. And I don't think I'll be picking up the ongoing when that comes out. All right.
Yeah. No, fair enough then. Yeah, I mean, in the original Superior Spider-Man one, there is a lot of talking in that one. Well, the man never shuts up. He's always going on and on about his brilliance and how he's doing everything better and stuff. So that hasn't changed at all.
I don't know. I know everybody loves that run, and maybe I would too. I've read some. I haven't read any of that run, but I've read some of Superior Spider-Man's appearances in Daredevil during the Mark Waid run, and I think that was fun. But yeah, this one really did not click with me. I think again, when issues are super text heavy. Right, he goes one of two ways. It can go the Superior Spider-Man Dan Slott way, which is I am not that invested in the story, And so as a result, I don't like it being so text heavy just makes it more of a slog because I'm already not interested in it. Or it can be like the first issue of the Tom Kane Wonder Woman, which I thought was a very interesting story. And so reading all that text doesn't bother me because I'm invested in the plot and the characters and the dialogue and everything. So this was definitely not for me, and I gave it a 5 out of 10.
I still enjoy it overall. I think the different take on the Spider-Man is still enjoyable. I enjoyed it. I gave it a 7.
What do you want to do next, though? Where shall we go?
I'm gonna let you know now. I failed you this week.
I knew it.
The first one.
What did I? Oh, Bloodborne. Was it not available?
No, I couldn't find it at all.
All right. Well, I just does this give me okay? So should we do if one of us misses one? Then the other person can opt out of any of them that they choose. So the next one that like you make me read that I don't want to read, I can just be like, nope, I'm out.
All right. Yep. Fair enough. We'll go with that.
All right. Yeah, because I've thought about this before, and I'm like, what should I do? Should I make him read 2 next week? And I'm like, no, this is just gonna spiral. So
yeah.
So okay, well I guess I can talk about Bloodborne 2, the Bleak Dominion 2. Now then.
Yeah.
This is, I still think, not bad. I don't think this issue is as strong as the previous one, but I think it's still pretty decent. It's written by Cull and Bund. The artist is Piotr Kowalski. Again, the art's fantastic. That's the main draw in this series, I feel. Because the story, I pretty much don't remember any of it already. I think like the apprentice lured in the trainers, and now there's a big monster they gotta fight. They fight a bunch of spiders in this, I think. And I guess the apprentice's sister died, I think, and that's why this person is so pissed and wants to take down the hunters or something. I don't really know. Again, the plot is not what's really drawing me in here. It's because I like the world a lot, even though I haven't finished Bloodborne. And I think the art really captures that world really well. And this is no exception. But yeah, as a result of me not knowing much about what happened in this, I don't have much to say on this. And I gave it a 7 out of 10. I think it was pretty solid, but not a huge draw. All right. Well, where do you want to jump to then?
Did you read Guardians?
I did read Guardians. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Let's do Guardians then.
Okay. This is Guardians of the Galaxy number 7. It is written by Hive Mind, Jackson Lenz and Colin Kelly, and then the artist is series regular Kev Walker, back after the fill-in artist last issue. I mean, it's better than last issue, I think.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we get some more answers as to what's going on with Grootball. I think I've theorized this before in the past. It's not like a destructive thing. It's like a regrowth healing kind of thing.
Yeah, you did say that.
Yeah, so this one just follows Wiccan and Hulkling as they go to try and track down the Guardians. And now they're like weird plant guardians now or something. And and now Quill's sister wants to kill them all or something.
Is that what that was?
I think so. Yeah, I don't know her name, and she's not listed in the. Victoria, I think.
Victoria, yeah.
Yeah, I think she's Quill's sister, maybe. I could be wrong. I thought it said that on the last page though. But yeah, I mean the biggest compliment I can give to this is the art is fantastic. There's a really great right before the credits page is a really cool double page spread of Hulkling and Wiccan's ship going through Groot space, and it's very cool. I think the story itself is fine. I do think it is better than the last issue. You know, again, I think the art also really elevates it here, and I think the answers are satisfying enough. They're and they're also like not super out of left field. Like they make sense given the information we've had so far. That being said, I still don't think this is amazing, and I don't know, because I think I did say like this is the last issue I would go for, and then if it didn't pick up noticeably, then I was probably going to drop it. And again, it's not on the same level as last issue, but I don't know if it did enough to justify keeping me on board. Especially since I think there's only 3 issues left anyway, so it's like I don't know. I may as well hop off now and just like wait till it comes to Marvel Unlimited to read it or something.
Yeah.
If I do want to get around to it, but I don't know. That's kind of where I am. Where are you at with this one?
Yeah, I'm with you, and it was better than last week. I mean, I think the story is certainly moving. It's moving so slowly. Like the first, what was it? Like the first five, yeah, we're like moving at a good pace. Honestly, first four, because even five, I think, was pretty freaking.
I don't know. Five was the
I think.
battle that killed them all when Groot devoured everything. I think that was a pretty solid one.
Which one was it four then, or the one where they had the on that weird planet? Like I don't remember what
that
were
was
called.
three.
Was that three? Yeah, that one was
Yeah.
bad. I didn't like that one. But yeah, the story is just moving so slowly, I feel like, and it's just droning at this point. I mean, I'm gonna stick with it. You can drop it. I'm gonna stick with it yeah, I'm gonna stick with it to see where it's going.
Yeah.
At least to like not to see where it's going, but at least just finish it because Groot fall is interesting enough to me, and with the fact that the Guardians are the way they are now, it's like Grootified, I want to say, So I want to see what exactly happens to them because they're not dead, is I believe what they were saying.
Yeah, no, I think so.
So yeah, I just want to see what in the end what happens to them at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I do like the concept of Grootfall. I've been kind of on board with that since the start. The rest of it, I'm just like, yeah. I feel much the same way with this one as I did with the Scarlet Witch series, where I started off really liking it, and then the more I went on, I was like, it's not that good actually. So yeah, all in all, I have this at a 6, but this is probably where I'm hopping off. So good luck with the rest of these.
I gave this one a 6. I just checked. I gave the last one a 5, so I'm gonna leave this one at a 6.
Okay. All right. Let's move along here to. You want to do Wesley Dodds, the Sandman?
Yeah. All right.
Okay. I also didn't like this one very much.
You didn't?
No, not really. Again, I think it was overly verbose, and I think it was kind of boring after the first like 4 pages. I mean, so it's written by Robert Venditti, and the artist is Riley Rossmo. I think the art is good, but I think it works better in some instances than others. I think the art works best when Wesley is suited up as the Sandman. I think it works less good when it's just him out of the suit doing day-to-day normal life stuff.
Which was, I feel like, most of it.
Yes. Yeah, I think the layouts are cool, though. I think, ultimately it's, it's all right there. I don't even remember much of this, what happened, though. I know there was, like, talk about gas, and he got a defense contract with the military.
He was trying to.
Yeah. And then he went to a party, and then his house was on fire at the end, and that's all I remember.
I mean, that's basically the gist of it. Yeah, his gas that he developed, it starts out with him stopping a criminal from robbing, I think, a bank, I want to say. Then it goes to him in what is essentially his Batcave, I want to say, honestly, talking to his butler. This man's basically just Batman. Yeah, and they were just...
That's not as interesting.
No, not as interesting, that's for sure. But he's basically talking about how he regrets all the death that his experiments caused leading up to him discovering his gas that he uses that puts people to sleep, experimenting on rats and stuff like that. And then, he tries to get a contract for the military so they could utilize the gas instead of using bullets, right, as a non-lethal option, but they basically laugh in his face saying, like, no, that's stupid because bullets is what kills people, and if we put them to sleep, what are we going to do with them? No.
And also they profit off of bullets and like the sale.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so so he gets invited to a party to like cheer him up, but it doesn't. And so he goes out dressed as Sandman to try and like just, I guess, cheer himself
clear
up.
His mind or something.
Yeah, clear his mind. And then it ends with the fact that his house is on fire because someone, I believe, broke into his house and stole his gas recipe book, which has more of the lethal gas recipes in there.
Yeah, outside of the opening scene, which I did quite like, and the tease at the end, I thought this was pretty dull. Again, it's not like it's not a just terrible issue, but it's also, I think, not that interesting. I don't know. This is one of those ones where it's like, maybe I give it another issue, but right now I'm leaning towards I'm not going to read another one because this one did not do it for me, I think, which is a shame because I mean, Wesley was probably my favorite part of Night Terrors, or my favorite character in Night Terrors. I think he was really fun in there. So I was kind of looking forward to this one, but yeah, it's just one just did not do it for me. I gave this one a 6 out of 10.
I really enjoyed this one. I actually really like the art. I will say his face when he's not wearing the mask is a little wonky. I feel like his face, the way they draw it, does not fit in that mask the way they draw it.
Yeah.
But like that's like really my biggest thing that I like really noticed. But yeah, besides that, I gave it an 8. I gave it an 8. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I'll talk about Blade now. In that case, this is Blade number 4. It is still written by Brian Hill. However, this is not drawn by Elena Casagran. This is drawn by Valentina Pinti, filling in for Casagran. Yeah, yeah, I give it a lot of 6s this week. This is also a 6 out of 10 for me. I think the first like third of this issue, really good. I think the way Blade is written and the way Doctor Strange is written when they're planning the heist is just really fun and cool. But then I think the actual heist on the train is kind of lackluster. I don't think the action is particularly exciting or uses the setting all that well. And it's quick and then it's kind of over with. And yeah, I don't really remember how the heist ends. I think the Adana essentially possessed the person who was running the train and told them to give Blade the sword that could kill the Adana. So there's something weird going on there.
Oh.
And then yeah, it ends with Blade showing up right outside the Adonis place with no explanation how he got there, and the showdown is next issue. So yeah, like I said, this is I gave this a 6 out of 10. I think this is I don't know if it's the weakest in the series, but I think it's worse than the last 2 issues for sure. I think I'm kind of at the point right now where I'm going to give it the next issue because the next issue is the conclusion of the arc. Maybe it turns around is really good. And then I'll maybe give it the first issue of the next arc as well. And if I'm still feeling this way about it, which is just kind of on the fence, I think I'm going to drop it. Which is a bummer. I really want to like this book. You know, I think at least the art on the first 3 issues, you know, that artist is fantastic. And so I think I want to get it just for that. But at the same time, if I'm not thinking the story, I'm probably gonna hop off on this one before too long as well. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Hopefully it turns around. I mean, this writer just got announced to be writing an Ultimate Black Panther series. It's starting in February. So hopefully, both these books will be good. But right now, this one, I was not feeling it that much. But this is, I would say it's a high 6. It's not at a low 6. This is a high 6. Okay, what else did you not read this week?
Did you read Green Lantern?
I did.
Okay, yeah, there we go.
You got to read Green Lantern, man. It's really good.
Yeah, I know.
This is Green Lantern number 4. Is this my pick of the week? I think it is. This is my pick of the week. Green Lantern number 4, written by Jeremy Adams. The artist is Zermanico Anastill, and then there's also a backup story by Peter J. Tomasi and David LaFuente. Backup story, as is the case for most of the backup stories in these DC books. I don't really care about it. It's about Sinestro's son and just doing mischief and wanting to conquer the world or something. But then the A story here is Hal and Barry teaming up because Sinestro has planted a bunch of sonic bombs around the city, and so Hal calls in Barry to help him do it quickly because Sinestro wants Hal's ring to take him off planet. But Hal's ring only works for him. He has this weird special ring that he picked up that's not actually part of the Guardians of Oa. It was not made by them. So yeah, it's mostly just an action sequence as they try to stop all the bombs and stuff, and then they have some little heart-to-heart things towards the end, and yeah, it's a fun story. It's I think this plot is this book so far is just really fun and just a good fun time. The art is always great. I was a big fan of seeing Barry in this book and just helping out his friend and just having a fun time. I think there is a cliffhanger in this one, but I don't remember what it was. Either way, though, I do think this was a really solid book. I don't think I'd quite put it up to a 9. But I did give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's a higher spectrum 8 as well. And yeah, always excited to see where the next book next issue goes. So yeah, this is you got to get on this one. It's you're missing out.
Yeah. Do you want to do Batman Robin?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is Batman Robin number 2. Written by Joshua Williamson, art by Simone DeMeo. So as you know, I did not like the first issue.
Did not like the first one.
I think you were pretty mixed on it, right?
Yes, I had my problems with it, yeah.
Yeah. Where do you fall on this one?
I think it's better than the first one.
It's way better than the first one.
It is definitely better than the first one.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know what it was, but like they got Damian a bit better this one around.
I agree, yeah.
100%. I don't remember what exactly happened. I don't think
we have the appearance of a new villain, Shush.
Yes. I don't remember too much even happening though.
Yeah, I mean, Damian goes to school for a little bit. They have that little, they try to avoid the bats from the end of the first issue. And they go to interrogate White Rabbit. Is that her name?
Yes.
Yeah, they go to interrogate White Rabbit as well towards the end, I think. And then, because some of the terrible trio got turned into actual animals.
Actual animals, yeah.
So yeah, and then they I don't know if they do a big action sequence there. I think they kind of leave that as a cliffhanger for the next.
Yes, it is a cliffhanger for the next one.
Yeah. I think this was pretty fun though. I think Bruce and Damian's interactions feel better here. It's still weird this is set during Gotham War. Like that makes no sense to me.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I think the art also pops a little bit better here. It's still a little bit hard to tell in places, but I think it's a little bit more clear. I surprisingly actually liked the Damian at school stuff. I thought I was gonna fucking hate that, but I think it was not that bad. That's kind of all I've got to say on that one. I don't know. You got anything to add?
That I will say the art in the school when he like started fighting, that's where I had trouble following at points. I was like, okay, wait, because I thought he kicked the kid in the face that grabbed the book, but at the end it seemed like nothing had happened to him.
So that was a dream sequence. Yeah, that was Damian imagining what he wanted to do, and then it cuts back to actually he didn't do it at all, and he just was like, "Give me back my book."
Wow. Okay, I completely missed that.
Yeah,
I thought he like actually did stuff, and I was like, "Wait, why did nothing happen?"
No, he would have been expelled immediately. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering. I thought like he had like an in. That's why nothing like actually happened. But yeah, I think they got the characters better and in this one. Yeah, I gave this one also an 8.
I also gave this one an 8. Not as high of an 8 as Green Lantern, but I think it was pretty decent and fun. I almost didn't pick this one up. I was like, oh god, I didn't like the first one.
Yeah, I remember you didn't like that first one that much.
Yeah, but I did. If Williamson hadn't been writing, I don't think I would have. But here we are. Anyway, how about we talk about the madness now?
The madness. All right.
I think this is the weakest of the 3 issues. I
was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah. I don't think it's bad. I think it's just I think it's mostly just more focused on Sarah interrogating whatever the Batman dude's name is in this. And there's some interesting stuff of kind of looking at in the inner workings of some of the other people who are in that organization. I also think it's interesting that Sarah goes back to the gravesite and like it's her and it's not the madness there. Like she's still some semblance of her is still in there, which I think is interesting. But I think that's kind of all that really happened in this one. And as a result, I don't have too much to say on this one either. I do think some of the exposition here just doesn't flow 100% well. And I'm still looking forward to the rest of the series, but I do think okay. I'm a little bit concerned about diminishing returns now going forward. Because if it does end up continuing like this, then I think I'm gonna have pretty not great feelings on the series as a whole by the end of it.
No, yeah, 100%. Yeah, like you said, I don't have much to say on this one either. It was, just I feel like a lot of dialogue in this one, not too much really happening. I will say the end, her being herself at the gravesite and not the madness was pretty interesting because, like you said, she still has some semblance of control. But I feel like she's like letting go because at the end you saw the madness like in the reflection of the water.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if that was like a nod to like, all right, she's just letting the madness take over, or if it's just the fact that like, the madness is still there.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah. No, yeah, like you said, if it continues like this, not gonna have too much, like, not gonna have too many good things to say about the series as a whole, because the first two were great.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, if it continues like that, then you'll be in trouble.
Yeah. So I have this marked as a 7. I don't know though. I'm kind of feeling of dropping this to a 6.
Yeah, I have it as 6.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll go 6 as well. Okay. So moving right along to we got 3 left.
3 left.
I believe, yeah. Yes. What do you want to do first?
Okay. Yeah, we'll go with the Cull.
Okay, the Cull number 3, written by Kelly Thompson. Art is Matteo De Lulis. Another 6 out of 10 for me. I think this is a strange one because it's really quick.
It's really fast.
It's just like, it's so much like the first half kind of feels the same similar pace that that the rest of the series has felt to this point, where they're all getting powers and they're finding out more about this world and the interconnectivity and all that stuff. And then suddenly it's just like, okay, we're taking down Cleo because Cleo's dark and brooding. Okay, now we're all escaping the mushrooms. Run. We're back to the real world. Oh, there's a big fucking kaiju thing. It's like, Jesus, you want to space that out some? Like, and the pacing I feel was so strange. It just seems like there's like this whole excursion into this world so far feels pointless because they didn't find her brother, which is the whole point of them doing it. They got powers, but it's just like they ran in, got powers, and then ran straight back. It's like, what's the point of them being in there?
For this one, I'm not gelling with it.
Yeah, this issue is not as good as the last one. I quite liked the last one. I think it was kind of a reaffirmation of my interest in the series, because I didn't love the first one.
The last one was the best one of the series.
Yeah, I think it was kind of more interesting, and we got a better sense of the characters and their interactions with each other. And now it's just
liminal spaces, but
yeah, we just, all the character development stuff got thrown out the window this issue, and now they're just like, we got powers, and look at how this is, and now we're running away, and big scary monster back in the real world. It's like, I don't know, it just felt like we lost all the personal touch of this series, and it just became just so like, it's too quick. Like the pacing is just, it's too fast.
Yeah, it's suffering from the fact that it's only 4 issues. It really is.
I think they should have put at least one more in there.
I think with 5 the pacing wouldn't have been so off on this one.
Well, that's the thing. Even if they just had the exposition in this one more drawn out, and then the escape was next issue, and then the last issue, that I think could maybe work. And obviously we don't, like, maybe it all comes together in the next issue, but I just, like, there's a lot to cover here. I feel like still, if you don't know what's the deal with Cleo's brother, and they still have to get rid of this fucking big kaiju thing, whatever it is. So yeah, I don't know where, I just don't know how this wraps up in a satisfying way at this point.
Yeah, me neither.
So I gave this a 6, but not the worst thing I read this week.
I gave it a 5.
All right. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's better than Superior Spider-Man, but and I'm gonna keep reading it. There's one more. I might as well. And I think the concept here is still interesting, but hopefully it works okay. Okay, do you want to do Batman City of Madness next then?
Yes, sir.
This is what Sebastian made me read. It is written and drawn by Christian Ward. Yeah, the art's really good.
The art is great.
It is very good. This is essentially the plot here is that the Court of Owls have they have a betrayal in their midst, and one of them has opened up this gate that is essentially the portal to the Upside Down. Not the actual Upside Down, but like the Gotham equivalent of it. And so there's like an evil nightmare version of Batman in there. And then it comes out and is gonna wreak havoc on some things and stuff. Yep. That's pretty much the basic premise. There's some other stuff in there, but not a whole lot. Otherwise, just kind of Batman doing Batman stuff and talking to Two-Face and so on and so forth.
Well, this is not gonna be Three-Face, I guess. I don't.
Yeah, so there's maybe the upside down version of Two-Face is there, which would kind of make sense because he seems much nicer than normal Two-Face.
Yes.
Or maybe it's just like, the burned half of his face is the one that's nice, and the Harvey side is the evil one or something. I don't know. But I like this. I think it was pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
I almost had it as my pick of the week. In fact, I don't have it there, but I thought about it.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good. Just between it opening with Alfred, like talking about what he was talking about, like how he's always feels bad that he goes to sleep when Bruce, like without Bruce being there and stuff like that. And then Barbara's whole spiel with how like their family's like basically just like messed up. And then yeah, I think the art on the Nightmare Batman looks amazing. It looks really good. And yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I agree. It's good. Also, it's 40. It's like 44 pages or something, but it feels like a breeze. Like 40.
It really felt like super quick.
Yeah, it was a very easy read. This looks like it's going to be a potential inconsistent publishing schedule, which is a bummer because next issue is not coming out till December.
Oof, yeah.
But yeah, hopefully that, because I know like the Superman: The Last Days of Lex Luthor, that first issue came out in July. The second was supposed to come out in September. It got pushed to December, and now the third issue got pushed to September of next year. So yeah, so hopefully this isn't a similar thing happening with this one. But yeah, I also don't have too much to say on this one. I think though it's pretty solid. I think it was a good fun one. I am gonna pick up the next issue, and yeah, give us one an 8 out of 10 as well.
I also gave it an 8.
That leaves us with the final one we have this week on the agenda. I'm assuming it's your pick of the week because you haven't said anything else. It's Avengers number 6? Is this your pick of the week?
No, I'd say City of Madness was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is exactly what I was concerned it would be, which is a rushed and formulaic end to an arc that was way too decompressed up to this point. It's not terrible. I think the art is pretty good. It's Jed McKay on writing and Ivan Fiorelli on art. I think the art looks pretty good. But I very quickly got tired of this issue's shtick because it was like we had a couple pages of exposition between Sam, T'Challa, and the Impossible City.
Yep.
And then we had, one by one, the Avengers defeating their people. And it was structured the same way. It was we would get 2 pages of one of them, 2 pages of the next, so on until they were all through. And that was like either the villain or the Avenger doing a big speech. Oh. And then the second page of that one was usually a full page splash where they would get the upper hand in the fight. And then after it had cycled through all 6 of them doing that, it went back and cycled through all 6 again, except each Avenger got 1 page this time, and that was where they beat the villain. And it was just like, the whole time I was like, why is this the way this is structured? Why did they not do more legwork in doing any setup or anything before this? Like, so little has happened in this arc. It's still like baffling to me that this is just the first arc of this Avengers run is just nothing. Like, I didn't like the Jason Aaron first arc of the previous Avengers run. But it at least was something. It was insane, and I don't think very good at all, but it was something. This was just fuck all. And then, yeah, it's just like, it just felt so formulaic within this sole issue, and I just was so bored by it, because I was like, this is just the same thing 6 times over, and then it's the same thing again 6 times over again. I mean, I guess they maybe have a new base of operations in the Impossible City. That's cool, I guess. But I mean, yeah, this was really exactly what I was hoping it wouldn't be, and yeah, this is what it was. So yeah, and also again, like, would have been nice to see the Avengers working together this arc at all instead of just like doing their own separate battles. Like, why even make this an Avengers arc then? I don't know. So that's where I am with this. I was not impressed with this. Again, like, it's not terribly written and the art looks nice. It's just nothing. So yeah,
I get where you're coming from with like boring read and stuff like that, but I half agree with you. Like, I didn't like how they made it seem like the Action Combine was like all but impossible to defeat, and then all of a sudden, like, in just one turn, like every single one of them got the upper hand,
and they have no trouble with it at all.
Exactly. Like, I thought that was like a bit lazy writing in that case. I will say the reason I'm scored so high in this is the art. I absolutely love the art. One specific page is where Captain Marvel just says ignition, and she's just like gets overpowered because of the like the explosion that she caused, and it's just, I thought it was just like beautiful. It was just so well drawn. But yeah, I thought the writing in defeating the Ashen Combine was a bit lazy. I'd say like the most entertaining one was maybe Vision. Well, yeah, Visions, with the fact that like he uploaded Ultron's madness into the Meridian, and that like caused her like basically short circuit, I want to say. Like I thought that was like, I guess, clever enough because he didn't really use his powers, just his like other mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this one just purely because of the art. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I think I've said this before. I don't know if I've said it on the show, but for me, the way I look at it is like, great art absolutely elevates a good story, but I don't think it can save a bad story. And for me, this was a pretty good indication of that. That being said, like I'm trashing this a lot. It's not terrible. Like it's a fine, easy enough read. It's just like I would have loved something to happen in this this arc.
Yeah.
And it just didn't. So I mean, I'm gonna keep going with this series if for no other reason than I just feel like I should be reading the premier team book of both Marvel and DC because it's the Avengers. Like this should be a book that I'm reading and keeping up with, and it should feel big and consequential and just something. So far it hasn't. I hope the next issue will. I think Kane comes back into the focus in the next arc, apparently, based on upcoming preview stuff. I have this at a 6. I'll probably keep it there. I thought about dropping it to a 5. I don't think it's terrible. I just I just was kind of disappointed and wish it had more going for it. Also, there's a backup that I read, and it's like most backups, I just have no thoughts on it. So
yeah, no, I don't think the story was bad. I just think it was lazy, especially in this one. You saw it come out a lot more. And I scored it highly because of its art, so I gave it a 7.
That wraps up this episode of Earth's Mightiest Comics. Thank you everybody for watching or listening. Next week, hopefully we'll be better than this week. This week was like the 6 out of 10 week for me, apparently. Next week we've got more Gotham War stuff. This was our break from Gotham War this week again. So we got that. We got Avengers Incorporated #2 is next week. I didn't love that first issue, but I will be picking up the next one. A series that I quite like, Bone Orchard Mythos Tenement #5 is bad next week. We have a special spooky Halloween special issue with Crypt of Shadows #1. Also, Daredevil #2 is back. Have to shout out Daredevil because I'm the biggest Daredevil shill. Also, Green Lantern War Journal #2. I really love that first issue. I'm looking forward to that. Incredible Hulk is bad next week as well. J. Garrett the Flash. I didn't love Wesley Dodds the Sandman, but this is J. Garrett the Flash is written by the person who's writing Green Lantern right now, so I have high hopes for that one. Of course, the probably biggest release of the week, for me at least, is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. I'm just so excited for that. Like, it's gonna be probably it's not gonna be the best comic of the year, but it's gonna be probably a lot of fun. Also probably kind of dumb though. Also, Moon Knight's bad next week. I'm excited for that. I love that series. I think it's very good. Superman is next week as well. Love Superman. And then also the new volume of Spine Tingling Spider-Man, and then also the new volume of Rainbow Roll She-Hulk run. I won't be reading She-Hulk. I'm not caught up on the past run, but I will be reading Spine Tingling Spider-Man. So yeah, you got anything else you want to shout out here?
No.
I think I got most everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like I said, that'll do it for this week. Thank you everybody for listening or watching. If you are on YouTube, you can of course like and subscribe and hit the bell notification if you would like to know when we are uploading new things. And also, if you've been enjoying the show, you can tell a friend as well. That's probably the best way you can help out the show right now. If you're on Spotify, thank you for listening over there. You can follow the show, of course, there. You can also send us an email at earthsmightieastcomicspod@gmail.com. That is all one word with no apostrophe in the word Earth. That is where you can send us emails if you want to let us know what you think about comics and stuff. So yeah, like I said, that'll do it for this week. A little bit shorter on this one. Thanks again for listening, everybody, and we will see you in the next episode.